It's time for another one of my Shauna shortcuts. In part 5 of using the abacus, I'm going to focus on doubles, and I'm using this particular abacus because it only has 2 rows instead of the 10, which can be quite overwhelming for those kids who are just learning to add. And also it's color coordinated so that we have 5 white beads and 5 red beads on both the top and bottom rows, giving us 2 10 frames side by side, as you can see here. So when our kids are learning doubles, we're going to move over the first double, if you will, on the first row, and then the second double on the second row so that it becomes a side-by-side 10 frame. So 4 plus 4 then is 8. And they can easily see this by noticing that we left the other 2 white beads behind, and 2's partner is 8. Or they can simply count until they see that the 4 plus 4 is 8. Now let's say our kids are adding 7 plus 7. They can easily see that this is 7 without having to count each bead individually because we have the 5 and 2 math fact right there. And then we'll do the 7 on the bottom as well. Now as you can see, we filled up a 10 frame. So 7 plus 7 is the same as 10 plus 4. That makes it quite easy for our kids to see. Now when our kids are learning about doubles, they also learn about doubles plus 1. And that's what helps our kids remember pesky math facts that just aren't sticking. So let's say our kid is having a hard time remembering that 8 plus 7 is 15, but they know their doubles quite well. We can tell our kids we're going to pretend that this 8 is actually a 7, and we're going to leave this bead over here to the side. This way they get that visual, and so they're not getting confused by this plus 1 concept. So here we have 7 plus 7. That's 14, and now we've got to bring back that bead in to fill up, again I'm using that terminology, fill up that 8. So we have 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. So 8 plus 7 is double 7s plus 1. This actually works great. My kid uses this in a little bit of a different way. For whatever reason, he has a hard time remembering that 7 plus 7 is 14. But he's very much attached to 8 plus 8 being 16. So whenever I ask him what 7 plus 7 is, he usually says to himself, 8 plus 8 is 16, and I have to subtract 2 for 14. And I don't mind because I think that's teaching him a great strategy to add and subtract in his head. So I hope you liked this video on the abacus and you give me a thumbs up and perhaps subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my videos on the abacus, homework, or even study skills. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy learning.